Hi everyone. You're welcome to Betway's Time with the Legends, and today we have Stephen Appiah, and he'll be joining us pretty shortly. But we need your questions. We need questions from every one of you. For Stephen Appiah, we need anything that you need to know. We are here to send your messages across to him. And my name is Yao. You can just call me Kawawa. And I'll be here doing it with Stephen Appiah in the next few minutes. So you can just send your questions through, and then any question that you want to ask Stephen Appiah, from his playing days through to his time with the Black Stars, his time with Juventus, his time with Accra Hearts of Oak, all of that time, we'll be here to send your questions to him. He'll be answering those questions right here on Betway's Instagram Live right now, and we're just about going live with Stephen Appiah, so you might just want to join us and then we'll do this. So thank you very much for coming through. We still need your questions anyway. Thank you very much, Opoku Essien. Thank you. Much love to you too. But we are still waiting for your questions. Stephen Appiah will be joining us pretty shortly, and then we'll be getting ready to do this with him right here on Betway's official Instagram Live. There's a time with the legends there. Steven.
Hey, my brother.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm fine. Yourself?
I'm okay. It's been a while. It's been a while.
Yes.
Very, very long time. But how are you doing? You're looking really good.
We thank God for life. Thank God for life.
Exactly. Thank you very much for joining us here on the Betway's Time with the Legends, and I'm really glad to have you. So today you'll be answering questions, both from your fans and from me as well, about your playing time and also about time with the Black Stars, because many people want to know how that time was. But let's just start with, first of all, I think one of the major questions that I've always wanted to ask you is, why were you such an influential leader for the Black Stars?
Well, I think a leader is one who knows the way, who shows the way, and who goes the way. Talking about a leader, I think a leader always have to avoid things that will let me talk about football. Being a captain or a leader in a team, there are certain things that you don't want the players to do, so you have to use yourself to set an example. So I try to avoid certain things that when the players do, I will complain. So I didn't do it at all, and I think that was what helped me to be successful for the 8 years that I captained the senior national team.
What's your biggest memory from that time? As being captain for the Black Stars, I know you achieved so much. You qualified Ghana to the first ever World Cup. But what was that moment for you that still lingers in your mind?
I think our last match when we played against Cape Verde, we beat them 4-0, and I think that match was very, very crucial, the tension and everything, because I think we have done so well playing the qualification, and that was the last match that will qualify us to the World Cup, and it wasn't easy, but having good players, playing with players who wanted to win, playing with players who have the mindset of going to the World Cup 2006. We played so well in Cape Verde. We beat them 4-0, and after the game, I was in the dressing room. I bowed down my head. Our officials, they were celebrating. The players were jubilating, but I was telling myself that finally we are qualified. So I think that was the memory.
Well, a big memory. But your fans also want to know. We've been receiving questions from your fans, and many of them are asking, how did you come by the name Tornado, your nickname?
Okay, my nickname Tornado was given me when we played. I was playing for Parma, and when we against Juventus, that was 2002. So we played Coppa Italia Cup final, and I was all over the pitch. I was playing so. Saying, kept mentioning questo ragazzo è forte come tornado. That means this guy is strong like a tornado. So that's where I got that nickname.
Well, okay. I mean, you also shared the dressing room with Pep Guardiola, and you know the great coach now. What can you say about him? I mean, quite a number of City fans have been asking me to ask you, what do you think of Pep Guardiola?
Well, Guardiola was a team player. I played with him in Brescia. He was a team player, very focused, very smart in the game, and he made this so simple. And playing with him, I learned a lot from him. I mean, because I've realized that you have like 11 players. The coach will tell you when you get the ball, give it to your colleague. And that was what Guardiola was doing. Guardiola has never dribbled a player in his career, but he was one of the best midfielders in his time. So, making the game simple, very smart. The ball will come to him. He knows where the ball is going. So, and above all, I think that he was a team player. I mean, in the dressing room, he always tried to push play on the pitch. He always tried to control the midfield. And I mean, that's why today in City being a coach.
Right. I mean, Stephen, you played with some of the best midfielders in the world as well. I mean, you just mentioned Pep Guardiola, you played with Antonio Conte. There were so many players that you played with. Who was that player who had the biggest influence on your career?
I think Antonio Conte. Antonio Conte, because when I moved to Juventus, Juventus was such a big club, and you have midfielders like Adet, Takinadi, and the rest. And I quite remember when I arrived, they were on the mountains on training camp. So when I arrived, my roommate was share ideas. He taught me, the philosophy of Juventus, and it shows on the pitch. Although we didn't play together that much, but I mean, being on the bench, first half, he will come and talk to me and all that. Antonio Conte, but I have played with players like Michael Essien, which I enjoyed so much playing with. We know ourselves. We don't need to talk on the pitch. I know when Michael goes, I have to stay. When I go, he will stay. So I mean, understanding each other, it was amazing playing with Michael Essien as well.
Well, your fans also want to know who your toughest opponent was. The midfielder who gave you a really tough time playing against.
Gattuso, when I was playing, when I was for Udinese, Gattuso. When I was playing for Udinese, that time he was playing for Salernitana. There's a team called Salernitana from the south, and when we played against, I mean, it was so tough. It was, at the end of the game, he even broke my teeth. So that's how tough the guy is. He would never leave you to go with the ball.
Yeah.
I've played against players like Albertini, Emerson, and the rest, but I think that was Gattuso.
Stephen, I think you should say hello to your fans from Fenerbache. I mean, many of the comments we are getting now are from the Turkish and the fans from Fenerbache. So if you could just say hello to them and say something to them, then we move on.
MBU Fener. I can see the yellow. I can see the yellow and blue.
Exactly, the yellow and blue.
I love you guys.
But let's just move over now. How was your time at Fenerbahce? I mean, at that time, you were playing exceptionally well. You had just moved from Italy, but it was a whole new experience for you. And how did you take it?
Well, I was lucky to go to one of the two biggest clubs in Turkey. It was Galatasaray and Fenerbahce. And I quite remember that evening that I signed my contract in Turin, because I signed my contract with Fenerbahce in Turin, in Italy. And I was so confused because I was asking myself, where am I going? I mean, Turkey, I didn't know how Turkey looks like. I didn't know anything about the league. So I was worried. But when I got there, I was so lucky to have players like Anelka, Kersman, Alex, Tunja, and the rest. So I felt so comfortable coming from a big club like Juventus, going to Fenerbahce, and it was amazing. My first season was amazing. I mean, I played 2.5 years in Fenerbahce, and I mean, it was unbelievable. That's why the love is still there till today, because of because of my service to the club.
Right. I mean, I think that many of them have joined the feed now. I mean, they are really, really excited. You can see the yellow and blue there. A lot of love there from Fenerbahce for you. But I mean, during your time in Italy, I mean, if you take your time at Parma, your time at Brescia, your time in Juventus, which one of those teams do you still have in your heart? You have the biggest place in your heart for. Which one of those teams?
Well, biggest place, I don't know, but I would say with all the clubs that I played in Italy, I was welcomed, and then I think I did my best. It started from Udinese. I played Udinese for 3 years. From Udinese, I moved for 2 years. So from Parma to Brescia. I played Brescia for 1 year, but I must say my best season in Italy. I was so lucky to play with players like Guardiola, Roberto Baggio, Matusalem, Jonathan Bacchini, the Filippini brothers, Peruzzi, and the rest. So I think I did my best with all the team that I played. So all the team that I played in, I can say, I mean, all of them are in my heart.
So you can't choose one.
But as I said, my best was with Brescia, because I mean, at that time, I mean, playing with Juventus, playing with Inter Milan, Roma, Lazio, Juventus. That time you have to, I mean, with the midfielders that they have, it's very, very. And I was playing a small team like Brescia, but the end of the season, I scored 8 goals. That's why I said, I mean, Brescia will be the team.
Well, it will certainly be the team. But let's just move on now. Let's come down to the Black Stars and your time playing for the national team. Now, I mean, you played in the youth teams all the way up until you got into the Black Stars. Now, when you made it into the Ecuador 95 team, how did you feel about that? I mean, making it so young into that under-17 team.
Yeah, I was the youngest player in that squad, and I quite remember when the sports ministry gave me a letter to join the team in under-17. They come in Winneba. So I joined the team. When I got there, I was so shy. I mean, you have midfield, you have players like Christian Saba, Emmanuel Bentel, Atakra Meniampon, Patrick Alote, Baba Sule, Awud Misaka, Abu Idrisu, all these players. I mean, they were arrived, and it wasn't easy. I mean, the coach saw something in me that if I had this player in my team, I mean, it can help. So we went to Ecuador. I wasn't in the first team. I was a sub. Actually, I played only one game in Ecuador. And the funny thing, that time in winning, but I was the player. I was the player who used to wash the players' jersey, their pants, and all that. So it was yeah. It's funny, but for me, I've learned a lot in my life, because even the Bible says before you have to serve. And I think that some of us, or Stephen Appiah, I've served. I always serve, even till today. I still serve people, and I think that that's one of the things that during my career that helps me a lot. So we went to Ecuador. I didn't get the chance to play, and I wasn't complaining, because I know myself that if they give me the chance, I will do it. But those who were playing, they were doing so well, and some of them were better than me. So when we came back at Accra Sports Stadium, when we showed the cap to Coach Adi said something in his speech. He said, yes, we won the cup. Everybody is happy, but there's this young guy who didn't get a chance to play, but one day he will be one of the great players in Ghana. And with the hard work that I put in my job, with the favor that I had, and I became one of the best.
Stephen, so Michael Essien has just joined us on the live as well. I mean, he just calling you an osofo because of what he said about serving people. So if you can just say something to Michael.
My friend, don't come and give me pressure, okay?
Now, I mean, Stephen, let's move over now to 2004 when we qualified to the Olympics. I mean, it's actually the last time that Ghana has ever played at the Olympics, in football. That tournament was one of the most defining tournaments for you. Just take us through that time. How was it for you as a player and someone who was dedicated to serve your country?
Well, that's one of the interesting story in my football career. I quite remember when the invitation came to Juventus, and that time we're going to start the league. It was somewhere in August. So we are about to start the league in Italy, and then the invitation came. So they said, I mean, they need me in the team, so they didn't want me to go to play for Ghana. So I was having problems with the director and Juventus lawyer. So one time I went to the office boldly, because I mean, Juventus is Juventus. As a young player, you just can't go there and take decisions. But I boldly went there and I told them that I want to go to the Olympics because I've played the under-17. I played 2 under-20 World Cups, and I think that adding the Olympic Games to my CV is very, very important to me. So I wanted to go. In the office, it was like argument. I was arguing with that. I didn't even what came to me. So I told them that everything that I do, my country comes first. So I would prefer to go. So I went to and it was amazing. The Olympics itself. I mean, staying in camp with athletes, and everywhere you go, you see the Olympic sign and all that. We played our first game, and it was 2-2, and I scored against Italy. I scored the second goal against Italy. It was a brilliant goal. On the pitch whilst we were playing, I was interacting with the Italian players, because these are the players that I was playing with in Italy in the league. So it was very, very fun. And when we played against Japan, we need 1 point to qualify, but Japan beat us 1-0, and we were so sad to go out of the tournament. But after that tournament, because of my performance, I was part of the dream team, and I was happy because of that. But I was so sad, I mean, coming back home because we were out of the tournament.
Do you have any regrets from that 2004 tournament, the Olympics?
The only regret is because we went there, and then the team that we had that time, I thought we would go far. We'll go far in that tournament. I mean, going to the finals, but unfortunately, it didn't happen. So that was the only regret. I mean, the match was beautiful, meeting other people from other countries. I mean, Olympics is Olympics. I mean, it was very, very beautiful.
Well, it was certainly beautiful, but let's move away from the Olympics now and head to the World Cup proper. The first ever captain to do it for Ghana. Now, I mean, all through that qualifying series, it was an excellent qualifier. I mean, I remember that game against South Africa in Kumasi, which was really, really good. I mean, that picture of you holding your chest and singing the national anthem has been one of the most abiding pictures of the Black Stars that everyone has seen. Now, after the qualifiers, when you realized that Ghana had qualified, how did you feel?
Well, I felt so great, and I think when it comes to football, every player aim is to play in the World Cup. I mean, like you going to school and getting your PhD, your degree, all the degrees that you want to get, and under 17, under 20, the Olympics, playing for Juventus, watching the World Cup. I know Ghanaians were really worried not being in the World Cup with all the players that has passed through the national team of Ghana, and I mean, we've been at going to the World Cup was so, and above all, being the leader, being the captain, who is going to lead the team to in Germany was beautiful. We played our first game against Italy, and I quite remember when we were in the tunnel going to the pitch. So I mean, some meters to the pitch, I saw the grass, and I looked in the sky, and I said, "Finally, we are here."
Yeah, and I mean, that game didn't particularly go in Ghana's favor, but I mean, after the game, you know, most of your friends in the Italian team, what were they telling you after it?
No, when we were in the tunnel, Piero Cannavaro was their captain, so I was with Cannavaro, and then some of the Italian players, they were hitting me from the back. Today you will see, and I turned and I told Piero that no, today they will see soccer, and he started laughing, and then Totti was there, and he said that, "Oh, look at you, Stephen. Okay, so we'll see on the pitch." And after the game, I must say that we played so well. We played so well. We played even better than Italy. But I think being our first time in being our first time in the World Cup, we didn't have that much experience. And I think they make use of their chances. The 2 goals that they scored, that's the only chances that they got in the game, and they make use of it. And after the game, we can do something because of the performance, because of how we played. Jesse with Piero Cannavaro, me, we had each other. I went to look at Tony because I played with him in Brescia, and it was so nice. I mean, a country that you playing against them in the World Cup, it was very, very beautiful.
Well, now, Stephen, I mean, many of your fans have joined us, and my colleague, actually, Gary Al Smith, is also watching, as well as Prince David Osei. your very own friend. So if you could say hi to them as well before we move on.
As for Prince, I'm hi. But as for Gary, hi Gary. Prince knows why. He knows why.
He knows why. Exactly.
Yeah,
Let's
he
move
knows
on
why.
now to the second game in that tournament. That game against Czech Republic has been one of Ghana's biggest ever games. I mean, going into that game, we knew we had to win, to get somewhere at the World Cup. And as you as captain, what were you telling the boys just before that game?
Well, I told them that, losing the first match is nothing. And when it comes to tournament, when you go to tournament, the teams that goes far always, they lost their first games. And when it comes to Ghana, we always face that. Most of our matches from under 17 to the senior national team, we always lost our first game, but we always try to get to the semi-finals or finals or quarterfinals. So I didn't say much because of motivation in camp. In our first game against Italy, the performance that we showed on the pitch gave us the courage that we can beat Czech Republic. But that time, Czech Republic, they were so good, and on the FIFA rankings, they were number two in the world in the FIFA rankings. Yeah. So it was very, very difficult. But we believed in ourselves. In camp, everything was okay. Even when we lost against Italy, the players still believe that we can go far. So that was words that I spoke to the players, and we went to that game and we beat Czech Republic too.
Well, it was an excellent performance. Now, when we're going to the 2006 World Cup, one of your very good friends, Lai Kingston, could not make it to the World Cup. How did you feel about his exclusion from that World Cup? Quickly, before we move on.
Well, I think always, big players always want to play with the best players, or want to have the best players in the team. And Lai Kingston did so well during the qualifications, and actually is a key player because he played all the matches. Yes. But 2008 when we 2006 when we went to Egypt, African Cup in Egypt, we played against Senegal, and something happened between Lai and I think Beye. That was his name, the guy, their right back, and Lai was suspended, so he didn't have the chance to go to the World. Most of the players, we felt so bad because this is a player who gave everything, and we going to the World Cup and he's not being part of the team. It was very, 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 very bad and very sad for some of our players. I remember when we played against that evening, I called him and I asked him if he watched the game. I actually cracked a joke with him. I said, "My friend, do you have television in your room?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "You can see we are in the World Cup," and we laugh about it. But we missed him so much.
Stephen, I think the legend Marcel Desailly has also joined us. So if you could say hello to Marcel Desailly as well. He's been commenting on this live for so long. So just say hello to Marcel before we continue.
Ciao grande, come stai? Ho visto che tu hai messo qualcosa nel profilo. Sai che ti voglio molto molto bene. Sempre ho imparato qualcosa da te. Ti amo. Ci vediamo dopo.
So that's it. Now, your fans are still bringing in questions. Now, one of the questions that they are asking is that which of the Black Stars teams do you think is the greatest team ever? Is it a squad in 1963? Is it 1965? Is it 1978? Is it 1982? 1992? 2006 or 2010?
Well, I didn't have to watch the 62 team. I didn't have the chance to watch the 80. But I had a chance to watch the 92 squad. And I mean, you have Edward Ansa was our goalkeeper. You have number 2, Nida Kuankra. You have number 3, our former coach, Kwesi Appiah. You have Frimpong Manson and Emmanuel Hammer, called Asiniwe. And then you have Tony Barfor, Prince Poli, Stanley Aborani, Odate Lamte, Ali Ibrahim, and Tony Yeboah. And I mean, this, when we were growing up, these were the players that we were watching. These were the players that we wanted to be like, and it was amazing watching them. 92 in the African Cup. So for me, I think it's the 92 squad.
The 92 squad.
Yes.
So I mean, it must have been disappointing for you that squad could not win that AFCON, even though they went all the way.
Yeah. I always say that. I mean, if have to qualify to play their first World Cup, should have been that team. But I think our era or our time, the time was so good, and we were lucky. Yeah. We were lucky to qualify. Did everything. I mean, that time you have players like Tony Yeboah, Abedi Pele, who they were performing in the world. I mean, they were playing in France and Germany, and they were doing so well. Yeah. They were doing so well. So that time, players like that time, their dream is to qualify the team to the World Cup. They did their best. They didn't have the chance to have the full the World Cup fill. And we came, and I mean, it happens for us. So they did their best, but they couldn't qualify Ghana to the World Cup.
Now, which of those players in that 92 team would you have loved to play with?
I played with them once in Accra Sports Stadium. I was doing so well with Accra Suffolk, and they invited me, and I came to change Abedi Pele 10 minutes to full time, although I didn't touch a ball, but it was a good feeling. So I might say a chance to, I mean, to play a lot of matches with them. But I mean, going to camp, being in the team for a day with them was so encouraging, and it motivated.
Also, in that World Cup in 2010, I mean, there are a couple of people who are disagreeing with you. They say the 2010 team was actually the best team the Black Stars had, which you were part of. Now, I mean, just sum up that 2010 team for us.
No, 20. The 2010. No, I mean, I would say 20. I would say 2006. No, 2006 squad was something else.
Okay, so you picked the 2006 squad over the 2010 squad. Oh, okay.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you have.
Okay. Can you give us any reason?
Even our. No, why I'm saying that, because even if you see our bench, the players who are on the bench, they are equal players who are playing on the pitch. I quite remember when we played USA. Right. Dramani didn't play the first game. Yeah, Dramani didn't play the first game. He didn't play the second game. Yeah. But the third game against USA, I mean, we saw his performance. That means that although he's on the bench, he's ready. He's ready to play. If you give him the chance, he will play. You have a player like Derek Boateng, who is equally good, like myself and Michael Essien. You have players like Techi Mensah, who was playing very, very well. And then you have at the back, when we played against Italy, the second game, Sheila has to change Osei, and we saw his performance. So I mean, it was all round team. Those who were on the bench, they were equally good as the first 11. And I mean, you have player like Michael Essien, who was playing so well in Chelsea. You have Tari, who was playing so well. You have Asamoah, who was performing in this club. You have Matthew Hamwa, Olele, who was the stopper actually, because he was in all the balls. So it was all around team. That's why I said 2016.
Does it disappoint you that you captaining that 2006 team and going all the way could not win anything for Ghana? Does it disappoint you a little bit?
Oh yes, because I mean, talking about the Black Stars today, we can talk about everything. I mean, having the chance to play in the World Cup, but I would love to have something that I would boast of, like when I was playing, when I was captain Ghana, not even being the captain, but when I was part of the team, I won this trophy. I mean, today, when I'm talking to friends, I always boast with Ecuador '95 because we won the cup and I was part of the team. That's under 17. So just imagine winning a trophy with the senior national team group. I mean, will be the ultimate. But I mean, as I said, people came, they were better than us, but their dream is to play, to win trophies and to play in the World Cup. They didn't get the chance to play in the World Cup, and we got the chance to be there. So some way, somehow, I mean, my best, although we didn't win any trophy.
Well, let's still stay with the Black Stars. I mean, who were the midfielders that you played with that you really enjoyed? You've already mentioned Michael Essien, but just take us through some of the midfielders that you really enjoyed playing with.
Midfielders. Yeah, I played with Michael. I think most of the matches, all the match played, I played with Michael. At times with Derek Boateng. So yeah, Michael. And there was when we played against South Africa in Kumasi, we beat them 3-0. There's Thierry. Thierry. Yeah, he came and he played so well in that game. I can say that he was man of the match. So any midfielder that I played with, I mean, I enjoyed it and they all did their best. But I mean, the Bison is the Bison. That's Michael Essien. The general.
Exactly, the general. Now, Stephen, I mean, there's something happening on Twitter. I mean, it's been happening for a very long time now. I mean, a couple of hours. You know, many Ghanaian fans are talking about it. They are comparing Michael Essien to Thomas Partey, which I think it's travesty of the highest order. But what would you say about the two players, Michael and Thomas Partey?
Well, you can't compare the two of them. It's like comparing Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't believe in that comparison. I think they are two different players. Michael has his own way, his style of play. Thomas Partey is more technical, more technical. Michael is a player who is strong, who always try to take control in the midfield. So that's why you can't. It's like you are playing Gattuso and Michael Essien. It's not going to work. But you can play Essien and Partey because one have the quality and then one have the energy and the strength to control the midfield. So we can't compare the two of them. They are two different players.
Right, great. I mean, also still with the Black Stars, Kevin Prince Boateng, who you played with in 2010. has said, he wants to get a chance to come back and play for the Black Stars because he feels like it didn't end well in 2014. What are your thoughts on that as well?
Well, I mean, these kind of questions, when I become a coach, I think I will have the chance to answer them. But at this moment, it's not in my area. And I think
right.
in 2000 we went to South Africa with him, and he shows that he is capable of what he's doing. I mean, good player. He has, I mean, prove it in his club. But hey, why not? It's Ghana, and I will leave that for the coach to choose. Because, as I said, I will have that power and that ability to do that.
But Stephen, are you thinking of becoming a coach?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Honestly, when I wasn't thinking of being a coach. It's so good. I mean, working with the Black Stars for the past 2.5 years. Now I have the feeling, and yes, I will become a coach. I will become a coach because I think that one good thing about me, I know how to players. I know how to talk to players. Even if they lose, I know how to approach them. You see, when you win a game, you have a different approach to approach the players. When you lose a game too, it's a different approach. So, but you have to be good enough to approach the players. So, and I think that I have what it takes. So definitely, one day you see me on the sideline.
Well, your fans from Accra Hearts of Oak are saying they want you to join Hearts of Oak as a coach.
The time will come. It's always good to start from somewhere. Being a coach, I'm not rushing to come and coach the senior national team. I mean, I have to get the experience. So getting the experience, you have to start from somewhere. Why not join Accra Hearts of Oak? I will learn under the coach I will learn under Accra Hearts of Oak coach, and if I have the chance to handle the under 17, that's where I will start from. But for wait till I get my badge, then we'll see from there.
Well, excellent. I mean, it will be really exciting to have you, coach, and maybe coach the Black Stars someday. It will be really, really exciting to have you. But Stephen, one of your fans says I should ask you that where did you get your fashion sense from? The way you dress, where did you get it from?
I think from my dad. From my dad. Recently, I mean, 10 years ago when my dad passed, and some of my like my aunties, my uncles, they brought some pictures from my dad, and from my dad. When I was even in Choco, we go to Katamanto to go and buy clothes. Even you go and buy clothes 1 cedi, but the confidence that you wear in that clothes, that makes the clothes so nice. And luckily, playing in Italy for so many years, I mean, looking at how they dress, I learned something from them. But I always say that at the end of the day, nobody goes out. Everybody put on clothes,
right?
But there are certain clothes that some people they too shy to wear them. But as for Stephen Appiah, I rock everything, and that makes the difference. Why Gary saying? Why Gary
what kind of guy?
Why Gary saying skinny jeans?
I mean, everybody is talking about your skinny jeans, and I think they really love your skinny jeans.
Well, I think so because I mean 2003. I quite remember that was my first time wearing the skinny jeans. I went to the Accra Sports Stadium to watch a Accra football game, and that time I was playing for Brescia, so I was wearing a skinny jeans. So when I got to the stadium, I heard some people were, at my back, they were saying that, "Hey, look at the man! He's wearing women trousers." And then I was with a friend and we started laughing. I mean, that time I think that skinny jeans was not that popular. So that's where I started to wear skinny jeans. And up to now, I think because of my physique, my thighs, I have big thighs. So when I wear it just fits in. So people see it as tight jeans. I love to rock skinny jeans because I have a nice legs, so I have to rock them.
Of course you do. Of course you do. Now, Stephen, just before we go, I want you to say something to your fans in Choco because they've been talking about you a lot. I mean, when I was coming here, a lot of them have been sending messages. So if you could say something to your fans in Choco just before we end.
Well, Choco. I mean, I would love to speak Ga. I mean that's the hood. That's where everything started. And what and it was very, very difficult. I mean, dropping out from school, Betty, being on the street of Choco, trying to, and I had a chance to join a coach team called Mighty Victory Fatas. And I think Choco people were they were so in love with me. Even Benin Tracos, then Kenya Tracos Saturdays, Obana Choco people. A lot of them come to watch my coach games. And I quite remember this. I mean, you wake up in the morning, you don't even know what to eat. You meet some of the guys, somebody will buy wachi, he will give you half of the wachi, and I mean they have contributed a lot in my life. That's why I've never ever back on them. I mean, till today, I always find time and go and have fun with my Choco friends and come in. Because coming from that area to where I am now, I mean, is indeed a miracle. It's a miracle, and I'm saying that.
Well, Stephen, I think I have two final questions for you, but I've seen a few of your friends also on the live. KOD has also joined us. Fifi Taki, who is your really good friend, has also joined us. So if you could say hi to them just before I ask my two final questions, and then we go.
I'm not for the past week, and I'm not happy with him. So Fifi, I'm not going to say hi. As for KOD, we even spoke this morning. Normally like doing this, I have to reason and share ideas with him, but he has abandoned me. So I'm going to say hi to him. But KOD is a brother. He's a brother. Right. Doesn't mean that Fifi is not a brother. So after the interview, he's going to call me. So my brother, don't waste your time and call me. We are not cool.
I know Fifi is your brother, but Stephen, Nathan Kwao of City FM also says I should ask you that what do you make of the Black Stars contingent in Italy, the players who play for the Black Stars and are playing in Italy at the moment? What do you make of all of them?
How many players now we have in the Black Stars? We have Kodja Samoa was part of
Samoa.
Kodja Samoa. I mean, the last AFCON that we went last year. Kodja Samoa. Kodja Samoa is doing so well from Udinese. From Inter Milan. No, from Juventus to Inter Milan. And he's still proof of, even though we all know that he's battling with injury, But anytime that he had a chance, he always, do his best. This one of the players that I admire so much, and you can put him at the left or left back, he will play. You put him in the midfield, he will play. So this is a utility player that always you know that when things are tough, you can use him in any position. Oh, we have
Stephen, your last words for
Alfred Duncan. No, Alfred Duncan, who was also doing so well with Sassuolo now. He's playing for Fiorentina, and I've been watching him. He's a good midfielder. He has the quality and quantity. Quantity because he runs a lot. He destroys the ball. The quality, when he has the ball, he knows what to do with the ball. So he's a fine player.
Stephen, your last words for all fans of Betway and everybody who has joined you on the live today.
Well, Betway. First of all, let me thank Betway for giving me this opportunity, because I always say it have today Ghana, we have 34 million population, and I was chosen to be the brand. I was so happy with the concept that they came with. 3 years ago, we did the Betway search. It went so well. We went to the regions to select players. 2 years ago, the same thing. And today, when I sit behind the TV, some of the players who came from Betway that we selected, I feel so happy, and I think that they are doing so well, because at the end of the day, they chose something, their social responsibility. They chose that allied with football, and I can boast and say that we have 2 players who are and outside the country who are doing so well. They came from Betway, and these are guys who were at home not doing anything. So at the end of the day, they have done something. And the fans, today sitting here and talking, if it's not because of the fans, I would be who I am today. So the fans, they contributed a lot in my life. Some people, maybe the fans, they have 5 CDs, but they will walk miles just to go and pay, use the 5 CD to pay a gate fee to come and watch us. So I think the fans, we being who we are today, we have to give the credit to the fans.
Stephen, your Fenerbache squad, your Fenerbache squad are still sending so many messages. So, you should just say a word to the fans from Fenerbache, then we end this finally.
Gule, Teshikula. You will see me soon in Istanbul.
All right, thank you so much, Stephen, for joining us right here on Instagram Live on Betway's account. That's at Betway Ghana. So thank you, that's Stephen. Stephen, thank you very much for joining us today.
Okay, thank you, my brother.
Right.
Okay.
Well, so guys, we've come to an end of the Betway's time with the legends. Thank you to everybody, Gary Al Smith, to Marcel Desailly, Nathan Kwao, KOD, Prince David Osei, everyone who joined us on the live today, as well as many of my friends, Gerald Crack, Giocondo, Lorna, Utopia, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll meet again, on Betway's time with the legends. There are so many legends that we've lined up for you on Instagram Live. We'll be doing this, periodically for you, to join us and have a feel of what your legends are going through at the moment, and all of those very great memories that they shared, with us and for us. Thank you very much. We'll see you again some other time.